What up, y'all? Welcome to Behind the Boards, Episode 1. My name is YT RhYmZ. I'm joining you from Terrace, BC, Canada, and I'm with my two co-hosts.
Mr. East from Fox Cities, Wisconsin. Hope y'all doing good tonight.
I'm WillieP, and I'm from Udon Thani, Thailand, and we're going globally across the world.
Yes, we are. Now, for anybody who doesn't know about the VGHL, VGHL was created by WillieP. It is a complete remake of a game from the past. And WillieP, why don't you let the people know more about the origins of the VGHL?
Okay, the VGHL came about because a bunch of us got together and were playing or trying to play hockey online, and people asked if they could watch us and see us play because it was kind of cool that we were doing it. And this is now the third season and the first real season that we're playing. And I took the game and revamped everything and brought it from being 512 DPI to up to 1024 up to high definition. And so now we're playing the game in complete high definition from what the original game was and how they created it originally. The game is about 10 years old. It came out in 2009, and now we're still playing the game in 2021 on the PC. The version that they've released on the Xbox and the PlayStation is far removed from what we're doing, and to be able to create our own teams and our own league and our own cities and our own players, and having our virtual teams inside of the league it's been really nice. And this year we've expanded to 30 teams, so it's gotten a lot bigger. YT.
Hell yeah. So why don't you let the people know about the changes from the last couple years to this year now, because you've kind of made it a whole different game to play.
The first two seasons we played in the European tournament format, which was basically a tier bracket, and the top two teams of each tier advanced. This year, I've actually created a 29 game season. So every team, and there's 30 teams, plays 29 games, and we're going to be streaming 29 events on the Axis Up TV station and through Beck's Global Network. And then we're going to have other games streamed periodically on Axis Up TV as we go through. And it's the season format. It's like the NHL and season format where we're actually included and incorporated an all-star game and the mid-season break, so to speak. So we're going to try something new this year by having all 6-7 of us play. I think we can have up to 6 players at one time playing. So during the All-Star game, we're going to see if we can all get on and play at one time. So that's one of the biggest changes right there. The season, the amount of games, the amount of teams, the amount of players, and the All-Star game incorporated. So, and the biggest thing that we had, the problem with during the first 2 years, was the fact that we had a lot of games that ended in ties because of the European format. There was no option to have overtime or shootout or any of those things. So this year we're running a continuous overtime, and so there won't be any ties this year. It'd be win or lose, basically. It'd be the scenario this year.
Hell yeah. Now, Mr. East, I know you played the game last year. And what are the biggest changes that you've noticed from last year to this year?
Well, I mean, from watching it from the first year and then to the second year, there was a lot of improvement. There was more definition to all the advertisements that went into it. And each year that seemed to be the thing. Now, from the second year where I started participating, now everything's changed. I mean, the crowds have been detailed. The songs are coming in clear from the artists that submit them. The functionality's cleaner. The choppiness isn't a factor on gameplay. Although I'm grateful that when it's streaming live last season that it didn't show the choppiness. It all went smoothly. So that was really cool. It's definitely more of a challenge than last year. I have a feeling when the European League style was set up, the computers that are your teammates on the game are way more inclined to assist instead of, corralling together in one specific spot. I don't know what that had to do with it, but even I don't know, everything's different. Even how the ice wears down, I don't know. You're gonna have to be specific. One thing I really enjoyed was how on this season there's multiple angles that we play from, not just one, and that wasn't incorporated really in the first two years, and I thought that was a really cool aspect as well.
Those two things, the gameplay, I worked on trying to get the gameplay to take care of that choppiness, because sometimes the speed of the game was too fast as opposed to the actual gameplay. It was like the game was on fast forward, but the actual gameplay was on slowdown. So it was really hard to create plays and create passing the previous year. This year, I seem to have slowed down the gameplay to the right speed to match the streaming aspect of it, so it's more of a flow to it. Addressing the other issue about that you were talking about, the ice wearing down. I redid the ice. I redid all the logos on the ice and the sponsors and the positioning of the ice, which allowed me to have the different camera angles because of the streaming of it. When you switch the camera angles, just suddenly the graphic detail is now different. So you're going from a broadcast mode now, which we're playing the broadcast mode in the first period, and then we're going to the ice mode in the second period, and we're going to the classic mode in the third period. And then if we go into overtime, we'll start the sequence again, go back to the broadcast mode. But each time we change the view of the game, it changes the graphic generation. So you get a different view of the arena, a different view of the ice, different view of the players, and how the camera angles zoom in on the players and the details. This year I incorporated music into the off or during the stop action play. So during the face-offs and during the stop action, we made clips to fit those little spaces, so it's more modern sounding, as is like we were going to experience the NHL. I've included people because the mandate across the NHL. I'm not following NHL. We are the VGHL, but real time and real life situations, I kind of wanted to bring them into the game to kind of update the game to be more modern. So there are people, the crowd has face masks, the coaches have face masks, a couple of the players are wearing face masks in the game. And not all the crowds are visible in all the games. And we've included the social distancing for the humanitarian, and it's a show our support for the world for that nasty thing that's out there right now. Whether it's the C or the V, whichever one you want to take, but we won't get into that.
Yeah,
we're not. You don't have to produce anything to get into our game. You just gotta be there and support us.
Right,
yeah.
be there.
Hell yeah. Now, Micah, you mentioned that the game was more competitive this year. Some of you may have seen live on Backs Global TV or VGHL_official or Access Up TV that we streamed the first two games from Event 1 today. And you guys got to play those, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Like I said, the last year how everything blended together wasn't as comprehensive as this year. So Will definitely had the upper hand. He's got years of experience, but the second game was the game that I really got thrown out of the ring on. The first game I held my ground. That was okay.
Yeah, so before we get into who was playing what team, I just want to give a quick shout out to our chat right now. We've got Eston out in Terrace, BC, my hometown. What up, Eston? We got Brittany Robertson's in the chat. We got Blaine Hard, also known as Knowledge. Make sure to go subscribe to Knowledge's Hip Hop TV. And we got Max joining us.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Now that you're in the game, you're on the grind mode team, and that was the team that Mr. East played. I have to say that if you take away the first period of that game, Mr. East beats me. I played Japan Team Panda. If you take away the first period, and if you just counted the second and third period, Mr. East beats me because he got into the flow in second, third period. And if you really watch the game, he beat my ass. If it wasn't for my goalie, you would have won the game because you totally.
It happens.
And the first goal, I mean, last year we had some issues with everybody skating to the center ice, the top of the circles, and shooting, and he scores. And everybody's like, huh? Why can't the goalie stop that? So I took away some of the 5 holes, took away some of the, seedy shots that you could just randomly, score. And here's what happens. The very first goal, not more than a few seconds into the game, Fukushima goes down the right side, top of the circles over by the boards. He just takes a random shot that goes right through Danko's legs.
No.
I mean, I was like, same thing as last year. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I thought I fixed that.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen that goal. Now, who was playing who on the first game?
I was playing the Murder Hornets.
Yeah, and I was the Bex Global. The Bex Global team is now moved from Portland to Phoenix, and they were the championship team from the first year. And we've done some revamping on the roster and added some new players. And I predict Brian Pinner. X is up to Brian Pinner if you're out there. I predict Brian Pinner to be either the MVP or in the top 10 leading scorer of the year. He was just a bull. He scored the first goal, and and he's just going to be a real problem to handle in the league this year, I think.
Yeah, that game went to overtime.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and that was our first game that we got to see the overtime thing, and our vice president Trilo scored the overtime goal and was the third star of the game. But I scored the game-winning goal, and I was the first star, so my player still continues to be the number one star on that team. But Rocco DiPapalo, I want to wish him a happy birthday, belated happy birthday. He had his birthday yesterday. He turned that big old number. He's joining me up there in that category, so we won't go there. But he is actually the leading scorer right now. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists. He's actually the leading scorer of the league at the moment, and he was his likeness, his player on the Bex Global Thailand team was the MVP last season. So during the playoffs, so his player is really doing well inside the game once again this year. He's a domination on the league in the league.
Yeah,
And,
I just wanted to send out much love to Rocco, and I'm sure we all can agree that we hope that you had a great day yesterday for your big milestone birthday.
Now, Mr. East, the difference between last year and you playing in this year seems to be the overall play of the game. Event number 2, I'm gonna foreshadow a little bit. Event number 2 coming up, and we're gonna drop that link coming soon, probably within this week. We've got Wild East Entertainment versus the Texas Prison Reform. That's our main showcase game for event number 2 coming up. Yeah, so Wild East Entertainment versus Texas Prison Reform. This ought to be a very interesting game. The Texas Prison Reform their roster is full of people that are incarcerated, people that are in prison in the Texas system that are going to be getting out of the system soon, that will be able to watch the game through Facebook and see it online inside the prison, I was told. And this whole aspect is something new this year, that we got to create a team for this project and put them in the game. And these players, I mean, I was told that it's given them so much hope and so much, something to look forward to that they didn't have before. So for me, that was just wow. I could take something that I created and present it this way, and these people, it's giving them something to look forward to and giving them hope and seeing their name and seeing something that was created and they get to be a part of. It was just, for me, that was just something completely new and exciting this year for me, just to be able to have that in the league. So I want to give a shout out to Brittany Robertson and for the job that she does for the Texas prison reform projects that she does, and it's just incredible the work she does.
Hell yeah, it is.
Hell yeah. So, Willie, why don't we talk about the sponsors a little bit and who sponsors the VGHL and how people can get involved with the VGHL?
Okay, this year we offered the 29 game or 29 event package where it was $1 and you get your logo tastefully placed inside the game. We've got many different layers and of advertising inside the game. We've got the LCD screen, we've got the boards, we've got the ice, and for $29, $1 per game, you get your logo in the game, and it's going to be streamed all across the world. So I mean, it's a really good thing. We've got our main sponsor. Thank you, Rocco DiPapolo and East Fan Wear and Tattoo Company, and the East Fan Riders Club, and the East Fan the other one.
The East Fan Car Club.
The East Fan Car Club.
Yeah.
We've got Divine Inc. and the WTN team out there in Terrence, BC, your hometown, and your division, Trevor. We've got Wild East Entertainment, who has their team, and Mr. East is playing that team. We've got Social Pets out there in Kelowna, BC still. We've got the Princess Hotel here in Udon, which is right down the street from me. And we've got the Thai breakfast restaurant that we go live at many times in the morning on our when we have our meetings. And this restaurant has been a big follower and supporter of me behind the scenes. They've taken an interest in me personally and the projects that I've done and follow me. And let's see, who else? We got Trevor. We've got let's see. We've got Buckaroo Saloon and Trilo out there in Reno. We've got Global Dimes. We've got Bex Global Network, who's one of our major sponsors. Axis Up TV. So
Aximum Podcast.
The Aximum Podcast, Grind Mode Cypher. The list goes on. We've got some others. If you would like to get involved, please send an email to at VGHL Seasons through Facebook or through wphthai@gmail.com. You can email me directly. And this year we incorporated put your face, put your likeness inside the crowd for $5. And you could be inside the crowd, any team that you wanted to be in, we could put you in the background. We've got YT RhYmZ as our main crowd guy this year.
Yes, I've made it inside the game.
You've made it inside the game. You're going to be our poster crowd person. And for three players, we've allowed you to put your name in the game. So we've included a lot of people that are in global this year that have put their name inside the game. We've got Tallboy, we've got Groot, we've got Christina Voorhees, we've got Veronica LP, we've got Monica D, and the Bex Global Dime team. So this year, I had to take it upon myself to take the dimes, and we made a Bex Global Dime team. They're going to be playing out of Montreal, and it's all the dimes in global. There are no profile women inside the game, so I had to create profiles for likenesses of the women inside the game. So I've kind of make the game unisex now. So all the ladies out there, you are inside the game now too. So I've incorporated that where it wasn't before, so it's now kind of unisex. Anybody that would like to participate, get their likeness in the game, or have their name in the game, or interested in sponsoring or owning a team, please contact one of us three, or at wphthai@gmail.com, and we can arrange that for next year.
Yes, we can. Also, you can hit WillieP up at VGHL_official on Facebook or at Axes Up TV on Facebook, or stay tuned to Bax Global TV because that is also where we will be streaming the games live on YouTube.
Now,
Eston has a question for you, I believe. Can you stream the games live on Twitch? Do you have any plans to do that in the future?
live stream games on Twitch. Yes, we can live stream games on Twitch. I do believe the VGHL has a Twitch account. We haven't pursued that angle at the moment. We've been sticking to YouTube and Facebook and going live on Facebook and the gaming community in Facebook. But yes, we can definitely. We've talked about it, putting some games on Twitch, and yes, Aston, to answer your question, yes, we plan on exploring the Twitch option.
Yes, because we also have that option through our platform as well. So we could just add that to the stream every time. So thanks for the reminder there, Eston. Thank you for your question.
This year, the music part of the game, I've taken on a dimension where I've went in and I've done more things with the game. The soundtrack of the game features 11 songs. 5 of those songs was created by me, the musical pieces. Anybody that would like to get on a track or get on one of the songs or get on a collaboration with all of us, please hit one of the 3 of us up. We do music in the background. We work on things constantly together. The soundtrack,
Yes.
track number 1, Feel Me Flow by YT RhYmZ. Now, this is our home goal song. So every time somebody scores a whole goal in the game, there's a Feel Me Flow clip that plays after the goal horn. I'd like to say thank you YT RhYmZ for allowing me to use this track in the game. It's really given the game a kind of a bounce, kind of, I would say, after the goal is scored. It mixed really well into the game.
Yeah, and I appreciate you using it for the goal song. I enjoy hearing it every time somebody scores.
Track number 3, we're showcasing I know that the artist Do the Unknown has got the new album out there, so I would like to give a shout out there. Please go out and check out Do the Unknown's new what's it called, Micah? This new album?
Humphrey Dogart.
Yes.
Humphrey Dogart.
The Casablanca experience.
Yes.
So, but we've included the song Pepe Silva in the game, and I got to interview Do the Unknown on Bax Global Music, one of our music podcasts, and he really inspired me and touched me, and I really liked the track, and I thought it fit really well in the game. So, excuse me, reached out to him, and he allowed me to use that. So I'd like to give a shout out to Do the Unknown. Thank you for that.
Much love, Do the Unknown.
Track number 5 is our own Battle Cat by Any Means. That is our away goal. The clip was played at the away goals when somebody scores a goal at the on the away team. That clip is played. Thank you again for Battle Cat. He was also one of the interview. YT RhYmZ, didn't you interview Battle Cat for Bax Global Music? That was.
Yes, I did. Yes.
So we got to be able to use that. So I'd like to give a shout out to Battle Cat for allowing us to have that song in the game and to be able to use that to showcase him every time somebody scores a goal. And I kept the disengaged track Victims as also the second home away goal because that was such a powerful piece of music last year in the game. After somebody scores, it was kind of really uplifting to hear that scream from Des Troy, and I would like to thank him again for Disengaged and Des Troy and Circle Pit Radio for sponsoring. There's another sponsor sponsoring us and participating in the game, and they actually have a team out there in Utah now, the Disengaged team, the Battle X Global Utah team.
Hell yeah.
Track number 7 is a new single, and when Mr. East first came on, this was the promotion. So it's Sean Crutch and Get To It featuring Mono. He is also the first song that plays during the replay section at the end of the periods of each game. So we put together a mix of all the 7 songs, and he's the first bit that plays. So during the replay section, that song automatically engages, and he's the first mix, and then it goes into Pepe Silva, and then so forth and so forth.
Good morning, Grant. Hey, I love that Australian talk. Hey, I love it. Love it.
What up, Grant? Man. We always love your energy coming into our podcast. So big shout out to Grant Cook out in Australia joining us today.
It's the Cookie Monster. We love the Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd like to give a shout out to Sean Crutch and to Jocko, for allowing me to use the new single and the premiere as it was being released. I'm really looking forward to the video they're gonna do for it. The last video they did for 900 bands was dope. I was hoping to be able to use that because the video was I got to showcase Mr. East as a butler in the video. I thought that was just so dope how they did it and how it was filmed. And but to be connected with Sean Crutch and his manager Jocko is a beautiful thing. They're very nice and humble people, and they want to work and they want to progress, and they're very humble in how they approach and how they do their business. And for me, that fits in the way I do my business because that's how I am. I'm that way.
Yeah, big shout out to Sean Crutch, Jocko, and the whole No Ability team.
Track number 9, we've got another single coming back from a person. His song last year was the away goals. Was the final sports, and I'm talking about Maze Overlay and his song. We took flashbacks because I kind of thought it fit because we've taken the game that was old and we've made it new, and for people that played the game before and now see it again presented in this light, it kind of takes some. For me, it took me back to flashbacks to when I first played the game back in 2009, and then as we upgraded and modified it over the years, so the flashbacks. So I thought that track was kind of fitting. Last year we had the final sports in the game, so I'd like to give a shout out to Maze Overlay for allowing me to use it, and Wild East Entertainment and Mr. East for helping me put this together. And his new album Border Kids is really dope, and the artwork and the marketing and the whole concept behind that new album is is just incredible. So I wish good things for Maze Overlay in the future, and I'd like to just say thank you for allowing us to showcase your work and inside our work. The last song that I put together, track number 11 on the soundtrack, comes from Lux Wave, and it's the Dreamcatcher song. Now, this song, for me, it has an emotional kind of a roller coaster feel. So every time I hear it, it kind of brings me back to how it would be going from your car, going through the stadium, going through the parking garage, working your way up through the crowd, the anticipation of going inside the arena, presenting your ticket, and then entering the arena, and the first time that you see the ice from the mezzanine section, and you look down on the ice and you see the ice. So every time I see our intro video where it pans in and shows down and it gives that circle of the home ice, it reminds me and it takes me right back to seeing the ice from the mezzanine section looking down at it and the sound of the puck hitting the boards and the echo inside the arena and the sound of the crowd, that whole aspect, I tried to bring it inside the game. It takes me right back. And the Lux Wave track kind of gave me that same feel of that euphoria of going through the audience, going through the ticket booth, going in and walking around the mezzanine section, and then seeing the ice as you go down to your seats for the first time.
Hey, Willie, I wanted to touch on that quick because a lot of people might not know that you used to play hockey back in the day.
Yeah, I started playing. Well, I was put on the ice before I could walk. My father made ice rinks for me and flooded the backyard, and so I played hockey all the way up until I was 18, 19. I was drafted by the Windsor Spitfires as a walk-on in the Ontario League. I made the team during tryouts only to be hurt and to get my knee blown out. And then when I came back, I was gun shy. The people playing 5 times the size of me. It was like Space Jam for me, and I just stopped. I just had enough, and they released me. So I pursued my other hobby, my other passions, which was music and producing and those angles. And I really didn't think about ever playing hockey again. And then in 1995, I moved to Japan and I bought rollerblades. I was rollerblading around Japan, and somebody spotted me and said, "Wow, you really skate well. Do you play hockey?" And I did. And I was recruited to play for Itochu Corporation, the Japanese professional ice hockey league. I played 4 seasons in the Japanese Ice Hockey Federation in the league, and I played 1 game in the top tier professional league. But I spent most of my time up and down in the minors in Japan. But I did 5 years there for Itochu Corporation.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because it shows your passion for the game and really why you did this, right? Because you still share that passion for the game.
Hockey has always been with me, and the skating aspect and skating and the technical aspect of skating and handling the puck and stick and the movements. The passion still sticks with me, and I would really like to start an inline hockey league here in Thailand. I've had some people that's shown interest in doing it and have everyone set it up. Oh, I'd like to say hi, everyone, to my Paparazza Harrison, my wife. She's joined us up in the chat, too.
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. Harrison.
Hi, Miss Harrison.
So being able to be an ambassador for hockey, I guess, across the globally has been interesting, and being able to now form my own league. So I basically created 30 teams of things that, 30 teams that didn't exist before. So we've got this VGHL hockey league now, where it's a virtual league where we have virtual teams and virtual players. And so I basically created the league in the virtual world for everybody to participate in, and follow your player, follow you in the game, follow your team.
Yeah, it's a great game. You've done a great job, Will. So before we wrap this up, what do people have to look forward to as far as what games are coming up and who will be playing?
Give me 1 second.
I know I'm up next.
You caught me off guard.
I'm pretty sure it's the Hip Hop Legends and the Cherry Bombs, isn't it?
Yes, Trevor, we've got the Hip Hop Legends and the Cherry Bombs to play, and it's the Hip Hop Legends home opener, and that's the final game from the first event. We have to get that game taken care of before we can move on. I mean, the game hasn't been without its problems. Okay, we've had to delay it, we've had to restart it. It's taken us some time to get it to work. I mean, we've had some technical difficulties with the network. We've had some technical difficulties with the game crashing unexpectedly. We've had some roster updates that we've made, and trying to get the game working and streaming across everybody's platform because everybody's computer is slightly different. So it's not like, the Xbox. Everybody's Xbox is pretty much the same. You just go on, you log in. No, this is something completely different. This is where I've had to actually modify and manipulate and recode and redo and re-graphic parts of it that, not everything works seamlessly.
Yeah.
So it's taken a while. The highlight for event number 2, like I said, is the Wild East Entertainment game versus the Texas Prison Reform. Now, Trevor, your game, and we have our new player today, Greg Williamson, who was also joining us up in the chat. I do believe he was here for a moment. We've got the games installed now, and we're gonna set a time for that to be up and going. So, are you ready, Trevor?
Oh, I'm ready.
I know you've done some practicing in the background. I've seen you play some games, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Dwayne, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. All right. Hip hop legends are coming. That's right. That's right. So, Micah, I've got one more thing to touch on before we wrap it up. The Wild East Entertainment team that we're talking about for Event 2 is getting an update, isn't it?
Yeah. How did I know?
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah. So I have Luke Heath working on a Wild East Entertainment logo. It's a really dope logo. I don't know how much I want to say about it, really. I mean,
yeah, I've seen a few renditions of it myself, and I can't wait to see it in the game because there's so many different ways it can be done with all the renditions that you've shown me. And
Right.
also, I want to give a special shout out to Luke Heath because he is also working on a YT RhYmZ logo.
Oh yeah. So I guess I can tell you all about the theme. So I'm always the guy who's like fight the power kind of business, So I incorporated like a musical tribute to the Black and White Panther Party in the form of music. And there's a vinyl player on it with a globe of all the countries on it that represents music can save humanity and save all people. So I can't wait to really share like the final product with y'all. Any week now, I'll be done.
Hell yeah. So that was the very first episode of Behind the Boards. Make sure to tune in 2 weeks on Thursday at 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when we do episode 2 of Behind the Boards. My name is YT RhYmZ. I've joined you from Terrace, BC, Canada.
And I'm Mr. East from Fox Cities, Wisconsin.
And I'm WillieP from Udon Thani, Thailand. And, welcome to the VGHL Behind the Boards.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Hell yeah. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Peace out.
Peace.